Hi. I wasn't going to do a video today, but this morning, you know how the Lord works. Boy, crazy, crazy stuff. Again, first of all, let me say this. All these days are markers. I don't know when the day is. I don't. I wish I did. But he's trying to, he's laying all this out now, all the final pieces to the puzzle. And these days that are coming and that we're in, they're event markers. They're markers. Again, I don't know which one is the marker, for that. So we just have to be ready. Of course I want it to be today. I wanted it to be yesterday. I wanted it to be the day before that. I wanted it to be last year. But it's not, so we still have to wait. But don't lose. I'm telling you, do not lose any hope, because what he's doing in these days that we're waiting, he's just working miracles. I mean, his spirit. Oh my God, I got these dangle things in, drive me crazy. He's doing such wonderful things. I just spent all morning with my son. Some of you may just have joined in and don't know what this is about, but whew, we have to know when the spirits, everything is a spirit. Every bad, whatever good, spirits of heaven, spirits of the fruit that we have got, Satan has counterfeits to that, okay, that, can fool many, many people. But they look for homes. They look for anybody they can. And when we don't know how to fight them, when we open the doors, come right in, right? Because they're always lingering. They're always waiting to jump. Always. So anyway, everybody's been praying for Taylor, for my son, because his battle is spiritual. It is spiritual. It's between the flesh and the spirit. I know Taylor is marked by God. I know this. I know also that Taylor has a big role to play. But having said that, Satan himself is after him. Are his higher-ups. I've known this. Taylor knows this. But when he has that spirit on him, you can't always see it. But ever since that one day, the Lord's been truly working on him. And I've seen it each and every time. Each and every time I've seen him again, I've seen it. Well, today he was in one of his, oh my gosh, Mom, I got to talk to you. I have to have a Bible study with you right now. I have to have a Bible study with you right now. Since he's not allowed in the house, I went out to the car. We were out there for a couple hours. Boy, does he know. He knows his book. I'm telling you, he knows his book, and he knows the time that we're in. It was all about Melchizedek. My stutter's back, so I'm having a hard time saying it. So the words just won't come out. Melchizedek, okay, and he's all about, it's just all about him right now, and his spirit, because of his priestly, role. Well, Taylor's all on that, and it's all about Abraham right now. He's all about the roots. He's all about the origins. The crazy thing is, that's what I've been talking about, is origins. Through this 2-hour ordeal sitting in the car, because he's just on a roll. He's got his Bibles out there, and he's got his, Hebrew Bible, and the other one, and what he was talking about just blew my mind, because I said, did you watch my videos? And he goes, no. I go, are you sure? Because I just did a video on this. I just talked about this, within a week or two or a month or whatever, but it was like, I just talked about that. I just said the same thing. I said, are you sure? And he goes, Mom, he goes, I know, and so he's, he's all about the respect of the mother, right? He sat there, and the first 45 minutes was a apology, and it was from the heart. I mean, he just started talking, and just out it poured, and how sorry, and went through everything. And I knew that one bad day that we had, I knew it was about God. It was a spiritual thing, I'm telling you, because that spirit that was upon him, it was about God. And I knew that. And if you remember, I said that I had sat back and I didn't let the enemy initiate what he wanted to. I wouldn't open my mouth. I wouldn't open those doors. I wouldn't go there with him. And that's what made him more mad. But I knew it was spiritual. I knew it was a spiritual fight. Well, and that's exactly what it was. Crazy today. Because when we talked about all this, that's what it was. And he said, he goes, it seemed like another person. It seemed like such a long time ago, but the state of mind I was in, it was like he was just having a breakdown. But it was the places he was walking in, you understand, that are full of those spirits. You can't walk in those type of places and expect to come out clean. I'm telling you, you can't. And if his first initial reason was right, was good. I get that, but I told him, you're not ready. You can't walk in that. You can't. You're not strong enough. And so every time he walked back to those old familiar places, he was trying to teach him about God. Just the opposite happened. Those spirits attached to him. Okay? So I saw it from day one. I watched it through this thing. God allowed me to see that. He allowed me to know that. He allowed me, that peace and that just, I knew I had to just give it totally to God, even though it was very hard. And a lot of people thought it was a weakness in me, but it wasn't. It was a strength. It was a huge strength. But today, I saw the rewards of that. I saw the rewards of that faithfulness. And we continually pray for Taylor. And I continually talk to God about Taylor. And he just assures me, I've got him. I got him. I got him. You gotta let me work. You gotta let me work. And when you give him to me, you give him to me. And that's the thing is, when you give your children to Jesus, you got to cut the strings. Got to cut the strings. The worry strings. Got to cut the worry strings. You have no power. Parents, we do. We think we have power, but we don't. We don't have any power whatsoever. And when you finally understand that, you have to put him in the King's hands. You have to put him in the ultimate, in our Creator. You have to put him in God's hands. He's the one who controls the destinies. He's the one that has the say-so. He's the one that has the power to move, to do, to allow, to deny, whatever. He's the only one. We are powerless, but we have the power of prayer. We have the power of faithfulness. I mean, not power of faithfulness, but I mean, being faithful is in our control, is in our power, in our daily walk, okay? In our daily walk, the things that using our tools, we can control those. And and that's why it's so important every day to keep with that, so we don't forget that. We stay faithful. And when we stay faithful, we please the Lord, right? When we please the Lord, His eyes are upon us, okay? That's why it's so important. He knows when we fall. He knows when we slip. But right away we get back up and say, I'm so sorry, Lord, I did that. I'm so sorry. I don't know what. I'm so sorry. We all do it. None of us are perfect. But right then and there, because we know when we do. Right there, we ask for forgiveness. It's done, okay? And it's this, every day He sees us. God's eyes are upon us, see? And He says, look, they're doing it. They're using their tools. They're trying so hard. They're trying so hard. And it's very pleasing. So when we're faithful in our walk, and we're praising Him, we're glorifying Him, we're doing what He wants us to do, right? He's so happy that we're doing it. And but because we're faithful then. If we're doing it every day, we're being faithful in something. You have faith, and we're being true to that faith. Oh, God's smiling. It's very happy. And of course He watches all of His children. But when, like I said before, when you have children that are you can't, that are doing what you asked, which, parents just love that. And so every day He searches us out to watch our progress, to see if we're going to make it that day too. Look, I'm so happy. Look, they're doing it. I'm going to see what they're doing today. His eyes are upon you. His eyes are upon us. When His eyes are upon us, His Spirit is upon us. Do you understand? He can see us. He can hear us. we're in his mind. I mean, you know, we're right front and center there. That's where you want to be. You want to be right front and center. He's got lots of kids. He's got lots of kids. He loves our kids more than we do. We just can't understand that anybody can love our children more than us, but he does. And because he loves us and he sees our faithfulness, he sees our hurt, he sees our tears, he sees it all. And he wants to keep us in that happy place. He wants to keep us in that faithful zone. He wants us to keep us on that path that we're on. And if we're not opening any doors, and if we're doing what we're supposed to do, you know, he's going to send special blessings to keep us there. Yes, there are trials in there. Yes, there are tests. But you know what? Not all the time we have to be going through them, you know, and they might not extend a long period of time. It might be a day, 2 days, 3 days, a week. But you know what I'm trying to say. It's our faithfulness. It's our faithfulness. But, you know, I've always known through all this time, God has him. And I had to cut it. And I had to let, even though my heart, you know, wanted to you know, I mean, I wanted to get in the fetal position and just cry. But you know what? Who am I? Who am I? I'm nobody. I'm nobody. I'm somebody who loves my children, though, but he loves them more. So I had to just let them go. I let them go. And he told me, and that's it. Gotta let me have them. Gotta let my hands work in there, okay? Because when you start doing what you want to do, what you think, you start working in the flesh, not the spirit, see? When we start acting on our own, we're in our spirit, we're in our flesh. Our flesh is controlling. When we give it to him and say, well, I'm just not worrying, can't, I just gotta whistle while I work and just know he's got me and just go on with life. That's when you're in the spirit. See? That's where the miracles happen. That's when God answers your prayers, and that is when it all works out. But you gotta keep that. You can't do it one day and not the next. One day and not the next. When you get that phone call of, you know, you can't just get in that panic mode. You cannot do it. It's very hard because our flesh wants us to do it, but you can't. Today, boy, that was a good day. It was a really good morning. See, I knew, and Taylor knew. And so we were talking about the open doors. We were talking about the open doors, and I said, see, Taylor, what happens when you open those doors? Now I can tell. He's been in a zone, not completely, you know, but God, he's been in a quiet place where God's been working on him. God's been working on him. And he said, you know, my girlfriend, she's just so dumb. I mean, he didn't mean dumb in a bad way, but I mean about God. He goes, I can't have a conversation with her. He goes, my friends, they can't understand what I'm talking about, because I'm telling you, that's what's ironic through all this. Taylor's mind's on God all day long. All day long. All day long. So it is a major spiritual war. It's a spiritual battle all the time. He said, I had to come talk to you because I knew, he goes, you know how parents, children think parents know everything, but see, he was mad back then on that day because I taught him. I mean, I shared about the Lord and I taught him things. And, you know, he knew then. See, he wasn't ignorant anymore, and he knew. And God had just, 2 years ago, just downloaded in him. Whoo, downloaded. Taylor knew things. I mean, he just had the Spirit upon him. It was crazy. And he knew that. He was mad because, see, that flesh side, he wanted to go out into the world and do those worldly things. But his spiritual side, spirit, was telling him, no, you know better. And see, when that Spirit is upon you, it's a huge battle. And he was so mad at me because he said, you did this to me. He kept saying, you did this to me, you did this to me. I knew it was about God. I knew it. Well, today, he said, that's why I was mad. That's why I was mad. She brought God in my life, and God is imprinted on my heart, and I can never get away from him, ever. And I know he has a plan for me, and I know it's a big one, Mom. I know it's a big one, and I know I play a big part. And I know that, and I was mad at you for that. So it all came out, but I knew that because the Lord told me that. He told me that. So even though I had to distance myself, almost like a stranger, it was very hard. Oh, it was so hard. I love him with everything in me. So now, I just have to pray ahead, pray that the Lord softens the sister's heart, where at least they can talk, you know, because I knew that would pass. I knew that time would pass. I did. I didn't know when, but I knew it would pass, and I knew he would be back to where he was. So, but you have to be aware of these spirits out there, and if your children are walking back to him, back to him, back to him, it's a stalemate. Okay, and but when they keep going back to that, what gets upon them? You know, I'm telling you, it's just a constant battle, a constant war. But if your children don't see it, it's very hard. So you have to give it to the Lord. You can't fight in the flesh. I will tell you this: you cannot fight in the flesh. You have to fight in the spirit. You have to fight in the spirit. So, but today, we were talking about everything, and I was telling, we were talking about what's going to come, and I was telling him about all the new information the Lord had been teaching us. And anyway, he said, "Is that why my spirit is so heavy?" And I said, "Is your spirit been heavy lately?" He goes, "Mom, Mom, my spirit is so heavy. I know something is coming. I know it. I said, my spirit has been so heavy, Taylor, it's terrible." And it has been. He goes, "I feel it, Mom. I know. But what is so crazy was now, I haven't had a good Bible study with him for months and months and months, right? He brought up the churches. He brought up the origins. Talk about crazy about that. Talked about the real Word of God. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's what he talked about. Unbelievable. You know, he was talking about the spirit of Elijah too. He was talking about Abraham. I mean, he was talking about the blind faith of Moses. And I said, "Did you watch my videos?" He goes, "No, Mom." It was. He was talking Old Testament from the, it was all Old Testament, but it was the origins, and it was the origins. It was good. It was just total confirmation for me from the Lord. Now, and I was able to really talk to Taylor about these open doors and about these spirits, and I told him, I said, "Taylor, you know what this battle is about, and you know who's after you. You of all people know this." He said, "Mom, I do. I know that." I said, "And when you walk, you have control though over where you walk. And if you think, see what happens is he starts getting very cocky. And he starts thinking, "Oh, okay, well, I can do it." And he starts walking back to these places. He's not strong enough. His spirit upon him isn't there for him to go into that direction. You know what I'm saying? And I said, "Taylor, you have to pray ahead. You have to pray ahead. You have to let the Lord lead you. You have to be led by your spirit, not your flesh. And that is it. You want to go in by your flesh." So, it was incredible. Really, really was incredible. So if you have these children, I know that they're out there. I know. I'm telling you, please, 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 give them to God. Don't take them back. I know it's hard. I know it's so hard. But don't take them back. You have to let Him work it. Remember, when we react in the flesh, okay, and we jump, we are reacting to the enemy, and we react and we go down His path, His way, okay, and His road and His path is filled with all of His people. Every person He wants us to confront, be in front of, everything is on His path. It's because it's His way. So you don't jump, you understand? You wait. You let the Spirit move you. You don't jump ahead of the Lord. And that's what happens when we jump ahead of the Lord. We end up going down the enemy's path, and we're there with all the enemy's cronies and the enemy's way. Now, Jesus will go in there, yeah. But now He's got a mess, see? And now He's got to, what could have been just done like that, well, it's going to take some time, because now He's got to clean it, He's got to clean it up. So when we jump in the flesh. We react. So react in the Spirit. Don't jump ahead of the Lord. And let Jesus be able to move with a clean hand where there's no mess there. Let him be able to move it with a clean, clear space, clean hand. It's hard. I think it's not hard. It is really, really hard. But, boy, it was a good morning. It's a really good morning. And you know, he knows. He knows exactly what's coming. He's already seen it all, I'm telling you. And I think that, too. 2 years ago, the Lord, showed him everything. He knows. He knows what's coming. But he went out, going to play Superman. Super Bible man is really what he was going to do. But he wasn't ready. He wasn't prepared. His armor was not strong enough. And he walked out into the world and right back to the old familiar places. And the enemy catched right onto him. And then after that, kept walking back and open doors, open doors, open doors, open doors, open doors. So, Spirit of the Lord, wonderful, totally wonderful. He can't even stand it right now. He's on such a, he's back where he used to be in that mode. And the Lord's teaching him great things, he really is. And see, I knew this. This is why it was so hard. That's why it was so hard. But if you have your kids, know that it's a battle of good and evil. It truly, truly is. But we know how the story ends, right? We know how it ends. So don't, you stand on the winning side. You stand Team Jesus. But you have to let your coach, you got to let him teach you. And you have to let him, he's the professional, he's the pro. Okay? So you get your skills and your instruction from him. So you don't take the field until he tells you to. You don't take the field. Because what happens when you go out in that field without the proper instruction before you're ready? You get trampled. You get trampled, crushed, right? Totally defeated. Remember that. Totally defeated. And that's what Taylor tried to do. You have to wait on your coach. Okay? You have to wait till you're ready to play. But anyway, it was a good morning. It was a good day. So, still watching it all. Love you. God bless you. See you soon.